Hello everyone, my name is Zhong Zhentao. Welcome to the presentation of our seventh group. The topic of our group is designing essential elements into the curriculum, and we will talk about it in 4 parts in total. Is creativity and innovation, high-level thinking, continuous assessment, and the last one is information and communication technology integration. Okay, the first part is my part. It's creativity and innovation. I will talk about it in 3 parts, respectively: definition, models, and conclusion. First of all, what is creativity? According to Knight et al., for the moment, one definition has been proposed as creativity constructs new tools and new outcomes, new embodiments of knowledge. It constructs new relationships, roles, communities of practice, and new connections, new social practices. Besides it, according to Ambil and et al., creativity is a cognitive and social process, and is therefore supported or inhibited by general social conditions. Furthermore, this trait is often associated with curiosity, knowledge, and collaboration. So how about innovation? Innovation has also been described as a creative achievement that is achieved through collaboration between cognitively diverse subjects. Changing or doing something new is an inherent characteristic of innovation, and innovation rarely occurs alone because it is immersed in a social context, and innovation is difficult to accomplish by individual efforts alone, so innovation and creativity are closely related. Okay, next I will give examples of creativity and innovation respectively to help everyone better understand this meaning. So first the example is about creativity. It's named POPBL. POPBL means project-oriented, problem-based learning. POPBL allows diverse groups of students in the course to work together on real-world problems and demonstrate and define their approaches and solutions. The job requires them to actively participate in the process of acquiring and applying knowledge. His characteristics are, they have 3 points. The first one is problem-oriented, not subject-oriented. It's different from a traditional teaching method. And the second is students find answers through the learning process rather than relying on recalling knowledge. And the last one, it is interdisciplinary, and questions usually involve multiple disciplines, promoting students to think in an interdisciplinary context. Therefore, interdisciplinary POPBL courses are one of the effective ways to cultivate students' critical thinking and engineering creativity. The next is ATDE, is the example of innovation. So what is ATDE? ATDE means act, think, do, evaluate based model of teaching. Creativity was introduced to understand student learning status and develop an innovative instruction of design courses. ATD is mainly about 4 parts. The first one is questioning. It means teachers design or arrange problem situations and raise creative thinking questions for students to think about. It focuses on convergent and divergent questions to provide students with opportunities for creative thinking and problem solving. And the next one is thinking. It's after the teacher raises the question, encourage students to free associate and divergent thinking. Students should be given time to think to seek creativity. And the next one is doing. It's about use various activities to let students learn while doing, think while doing, and learn from experimental activities, find solutions to problems, and put them into action. And the last one is evaluation. Teachers and students jointly evaluate, and the creativity thinking process can enter the practice stage. Okay, let's do a conclusion. Both of the above teaching models are committed to cultivating students' creative thinking and innovative abilities, emphasizing practical problem solving, interdisciplinary collaboration, and active participation in the learning process. Through the guidance of problem-oriented practical activities and creative thinking, students are inspired to explore novel solutions, thereby promoting their creative and innovative development. It can be seen from this that creativity and innovation in the curriculum are not so much something that educators guide, but rather a process of helping students learn to complete tasks at creativity. In this process, students' creativity and innovation abilities are cultivated.
Today, I'm going to share with you how to incorporate um, higher level thinking elements into our curriculum design. And I will follow these four parts to share with you. The first part is the definition of higher level thinking. And higher level thinking, known as higher order thinking, is a sequence of thinking skills that moves students beyond rote memorization into more more comprehensive levels of thinking. It asks the students to take facts and information they have memorized and apply them in a new, active way, like making an inference, connecting ideas into larger concepts, or coming up with an original creation. In the second part is the revised Bloom's taxonomy. One common resource for thinking about this progression from lower to higher order thinking is the Bloom's taxonomy, coined by a group of educators by Benjamin Bloom in 1956 and updated in 2031. There are 19 cognitive processes associated with the six levels of the revised Bloom's taxonomy. The six levels are as follows: remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. The uh, remember, understand, and apply is the lower level thinking, and the rest of this is higher level thinking. And let's talk about the six levels. The first one is remember. It it means retrieve relevant knowledge from long-term memory, and it has two cognitive processes. The first one is recognizing, and it means a location of knowledge in long-term memory that is consistent with presented material. And for example, recognize the dates of important events in United States history, and another one is recalling, and it means retrieving relevant knowledge from long-term memory. The second one is understand. It means construct meaning from instructional messages, including oral, written, and graphical communication. And it concludes seven cognitive processes. They are interpreting, ex, ex, exemplifying, classifying, summarizing, and inferring, comparing, and explaining. The interpreting means changing from one form or representation to another, such as from numerical to verbal. And exemplify means finding a specific example or illustration of a concept or principle. And classifying means determining that something belongs to a category. And summarizing means abstracting a general theme or major points. And inferring refers to drawing a logic conclusion from presented information. For example, in learning a foreign language, infer grammatical principles from examples. And comparing refers to detecting correspondence between two objects in the like for example compare and contrast historical events to contemporary situations. And the last one is explain. It means constructing a cause and effect model or system. And the third one is apply. Apply means carry out or use a procedure in a given situation. It has two cognitive processes. The first one is executing, and the other one is implementing. Executing means apply a procedure to familiar task, and implementing means applying for a procedure to an unfamiliar task. Okay, that's about the lowest level thinking skills, and I'll take about the higher level thinking skill. The first one is analyze. It means break material into its constituent parts and determine how the parts related to one another and to an overall structure or purpose. And for analyze, there are three cognitive processes. The first one is differentiation. And differentiation means distinguishing relevant from irrelevant parts or important parts of presented material. And differentiation is different from the cognitive process associated with understand, because it involves structure, organization, and in particular determine how the parts fit into the overall structure or whole. The second one is organizing. It means determine how elements fit or function within a structure, and build systematic and coherent connections among piece of relevant information, and it occurs in conjunction with differentiating since the student first identifies the relevant or important elements and then determines or imposes an overall structure, configuration, and arrangement on the content. The last one is attributing. It means determining a point of view, a bias, values, or intent underlying presented material. The fifth level is evaluating. It means make judgments based on criteria and standards. For this level, it has two cognitive processes. The first one is checking. Checking means detecting inconsistencies or fallacies within a process or product, and it determines whether a process or product has external consistency, and it determines the effectiveness of a procedure as it is being implemented. And the other one is critiquing. It refers to determine inconsistencies between a product and external criteria, and it determines whether a product has external consistency. And the sixth level, also the last level is create. It refers to put elements together to form a coherent or functional whole, or it refers to reorganize elements into a new pattern or structure. In this part or this level, it has three cognitive processes. The first one is generating. It means coming up with the alternative hypothesis based on criteria. And the second one is planning. It means devising a detailed procedure for accomplishing some task. And the third one is producing. It means inventing a product. Okay. That's all about the revised Bloom's taxonomy. Uh, but let's think about a question. What do these higher order categories, creating, evaluating, and extended thinking, look like in the curriculum or our classroom? I'll share with you some examples and activity. Here, we break down several types of higher order thinking with depth of what they each look like in practice. The first one is critical thinking. At a basic level, critical thinking is the ability to question, interpret, and make judgments about information rather than accepting an idea or concept as face value. In general, critical thinking is something students do. An example of critical thinking in the classroom might be having students analyze a news headline. Educator and instructional coach Dara Savage explains how she uses the FIRE method to help her students think critically about news headlines, asking students to focus and respond to the headline, identify a face or piece of the photo and write about it. Reframe their initial response around a specific word, phrase, or section they identified, and exchange their thoughts with a classmate, connecting the conversation or uh, bolder topics in the key to what Savage does here that accelerates students' higher level thinking skills comes in the exchange phase of their protocol, and students must have an avenue for sharing their new understandings, which allows them to analyze and evaluate feedback they receive from their peers. In this way, critical thinking asks students to go beyond memorizing and understanding new information to analyze and evaluate what they are learning. And in doing so, students need to make active connections between concepts and ideas, such as comparing a new piece of information to what they know to be true from previous learning or their own lives. The second one is comprehension. Comprehension often appears in reading and literacy practices, and however, like critical thinking, comprehension means understanding a subject's explicit and implicit meaning. Unlike memorization, comprehension is an active process. For students to understand a new concept, they must extract meaning first and be able to connect it to the knowledge they already grasped. Doing so allows students to understand how new information connects to their larger understanding of themselves and their mature relatives. Strategies to use at these levels include uh, helping students examine their reasoning and helping students practice skills, strategies, and process. The last one is evaluation. The Learning Center at UNC defines evaluation as making judgments about something based on criteria and standards. Often, evaluating something doesn't mean students will arrive at a correct answer. Instead, students make a judgment and then crucially support, support that judgment with reasoning and evidence. Questions teachers can ask students to spark evaluation include, do you like, dislike, agree, or disagree with an author's perspective or desire? What would you do if asked to choose a given situation? Okay, um, that's all about the exams and activities. And the fourth part is conclusion. Higher order thinking supports academic achievements by moving students beyond memorization to build creative and critical thinking skills. Rather than teaching students to memorize content for the sake of a test, higher order thinking prepares students as original thinkers and learners for life, such as self-directed, curious, and able to seek out and apply information to solve complex problems. And that's all I have to share. And I would like to invite my friend to share the rest contents for you next. Okay, thank you.
Let's move to the continuous assessment. I will talk about these 7 aspects. The first one is the definition. Continuous assessment is an approach that would capture the full range of learners' performance that help teachers understand their learners, plan and monitor instruction, and establish a variable classroom culture. Continuous assessment is regular assessment of the learning performance related to a course model and that is separated from examinations and accompanied by regular feedback. Many educational systems all over the world have adopted this approach in assessing learners' achievement in many subject areas. Continuous assessment of learners' progress would be defined as a mechanism whereby the final grading of learners in the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains of learning systematically takes account of all their performances during a given period of schooling. And the objectives of continuous assessment. The first one is addressing the needs of students. Students have different needs and learning styles in the learning process. Continuous assessment helps to understand students' feedback and needs so that course content and teaching methods can be adjusted to better meet students' learning needs and improve their learning experiences and learning outcomes. Next is ensuring the quality of the curriculum. Ongoing assessment ensures that the curriculum design meets high quality standards through ongoing monitoring, data collection, and analysis of all aspects of the curriculum. This includes aspects such as the extent to which instructional objectives are achieved, the effectiveness of instructional methods, and the completeness and appropriateness of course content. The third one is continuous improvement of course design. Continuous assessment is also a cyclical process whereby course design can be continuously improved through ongoing assessment, collection of feedback, and adjustment. This includes updating course content, adapting teaching methods, and better adapting to the changing educational environment and student needs. The fourth is improving the effectiveness of teaching and learning. An important purpose of ongoing assessment is to identify and improve problems that may exist in the curriculum. By assessing student learning outcomes, feedback, and the effectiveness of teaching methods, instructors can make timely adjustments to the curriculum to improve teaching effectiveness and ensure that students better understand and master what they have learned. And next is importance ongoing improvement. Continuous assessment allows educators to continually evaluate and refine the curriculum based on real-time feedback. This iterative process enables the identification and rectification of weakness or gaps in the curriculum design, fostering ongoing improvement and alignment with learning objectives. It ensures that the curriculum remains aligned with the set learning objectives. Regular assessments help gauge if students are progressing toward meeting these objectives, maintaining the curriculum's integrity. Enhance the teaching strategies. By regularly assessing students' understanding, educators can adjust their teaching methods to better suit the needs of their students. This adaptability improves teaching strategies, making them more effective and impactful. Accurate measurement of learning outcomes. It provides a more comprehensive and accurate assessment of student learning outcomes by continuously measuring progress. This comprehensive evaluation ensures a more holistic understanding of what students have learned. Next one is approaches of continuous assessment. Here are two main assessment. It's formative assessment and summative assessment. Formative assessment refers to a wide variety of methods that the teachers use to conduct in-process evaluations of students' comprehension, learning needs, and academic progress during a lesson, unit, or course. But summative assessments are used to evaluate students' learning, skill acquisition, and academic achievement at the conclusion of a defined instructional period at the end of a project, unit, course, semester, program, or school year. And the formative assessment can be divided into informal and formal assessment. Informal assessment, formative continuous assessments are mostly informal. That is, they consist of a teacher's casual and impromptu observations and impressions of students' progress in relation to the curriculum. And formal assessment, formative continuous assessment does not exclude the use of paper and pencil or performance assessment. But for the formal summative assessment, continuous assessment by constructs are more formal, since the results of summative continuous assessment become part of the student accountability system. The summative assessment procedures or the techniques a teacher uses need to be crafted with deliberation and care to be aligned with the curriculum. It is most important that summative assessments be matched to the learning targets of the curriculum. The advantages of continuous assessment. It is guidance-oriented and yield more accurate data, reaching the teachers early enough to modify instruction, play a vital role in diagnosing and remediating areas of learners' weaknesses if properly anchored. Teachers and administrators would be able to assess learners' progress and would have time to correct the problems. It is not threatening to learners. And it encourages more teacher participation in the overall assessment or grading of his or her learners. Holistic representation of learners. Teachers can modify their pedagogical strategies to include the construction of remediation actives for students and individual interaction between teachers and students foster their relation. Here are 4 examples. The first one is peer review and feedback mechanism in writing courses. Writing courses where students submit drafts for peer review. They provide feedback to their peers based on rubrics and specific criteria. This process occurs multiple times throughout the semester, allowing for iterative improvements. Students refine their writing skills through continuous feedback, learning from their peers' perspectives. It promotes a supportive learning continuous and enhance the quality of the final written work. Second one is formulate assessment in high school science. In a high school science class, the teacher employed formulate assessment techniques such as frequent quizzes, peer evaluations, and concept maps. The teacher used their assessment to gauge students' understanding throughout the units. As a result, students received immediately feedback, enabling them to adjust their learning strategies and improve comprehension before the summative assessment. The third one is self-assessment and reflection in professional development. In a teacher training program, educators engage in self-assessment and reflective practice regularly. They recorded their teaching seasons, analyzed their pedagogical approaches, and identified areas for improvement. Peer feedback and mentor guidance were also incorporated, fostering continuous professional growth. The last one is continuous feedback loop in online learning platforms. Online learning platform implemented continuous assessment through interactive quizzes, discussion boards, and automated feedback mechanisms. Students received instant feedback on quizzes, engaged in discussions, and assessed learning resources. The platform used data analytics to personalize learning paths based on individual performance to enhance the overall learning experiences. So for conclusion, these examples demonstrate how various educational institutions and settings utilize continuous assessment strategies, such as portfolios, formative assessments, rubrics, self-assessment, and technology-enabled feedback loops to enhance learning outcomes, promote students' engagement, and support individualized learning paths. Continuous assessment practices effectively contribute to the improvement of teaching and learning experiences across diverse educational contexts. Okay, let's move to the next part. Welcome my partner Huang Zhuofan.
Hi everyone, I'm Huang Zhuofan. Today I'm going to introduce the integrating information and communication technology in curriculum design, building a future-ready education experience. The introduction to ICT. The ICT refers to information and communication technology, and ICT are basically information handling tools, a various set of equipment, application, and service that are used to produce, storage, process, distribute, and exchange information. OICT include radio, television, telephone, taps, and Castle, video, Castle, and so on. The new ICT includes computer, satellite, wireless technology, and internet. The definition of the ICT, the UNESCO defined ICT is the scientific, technological, and engineering discipline and management technology used to handle transmit information with man and machine. And according to digital video, they define the ICT is the computing and communication facilities and future that support teaching, learning, and range of activity in education. The IBM refer to they think the ICT is the use of computer-based information system and communication system to transmit and store data and information. The importance of ICT in education. The first is involving education landscape. In nowadays, education is evolving rapidly with the integration of technology. ICT is not just a part of educational process, it's becoming central to it. The second is enhancing learning experience. ICT offers device, tools, and platforms that can transfer traditional classroom setting, making learning more interactive, engaging, and accessible. The third is preparing for the future. The integration of ICT in education is crucial for preparing for students a future domain by digital technology. It equips the students with the necessary skill to thrive in an increasing digital world. The role of technology in contemporary education landscape. Facilitating the first is facilitating global connectivity. Technology breaks down the global barriers, allows students to connect and collaborate and learn from peers and experts worldwide. The second is personalized learning. ICT enable personalized learning experience to individual learning style and place. It allows educators to tailor content to meet the unique needs of each student. The third is resource accessibility. With ICT, students and educators have access to a vast array of online resource and education material, expanding the scope of learning beyond traditional textbook. The final is enhancing teacher efficiency. ICT tools can aid teachers in planning, instruction, and assessment, making the educational process more efficient and effective. The common ICT is the smartphone, projector, e-book reader, tablet, and the laptop. Understanding current curriculum needs. The first is we need to assessing needs and resource. The gap analyze. Identify area in current curriculum where the integration of ICT can enhance learning outcome. The second is education growth. Ensure that use of ICT align with the overall education goal and objectives of the institution. The second is the third is feedback from stakeholder. gather input from educators, students, and possible partner to understand the current effectiveness and limitation of the curriculum in relation to ICT. And we also need to evaluating available ICT resources. The first is the hardware availability and the software and platforms, internet connectivities and access. The first I can explain is access availability of computer, tablets, interactive with sport and other necessary hardware in school environments. And the second is the software tools, education apps, and learning platform currently accessible, and they're relevant to curriculum. Like our school have the Culture Blast and so on. I don't know other platforms. And the third is internet connectivity and access. Evaluate the quality of internet access in the school. Consider both the speed and reliability necessary for effective ICT implementation. And the final, assessing skill and readiness. The first is educator skill. Our teacher need the ICT skill, right? The current level of ICT perfection among educators and identify areas where training is needed. The second is student digital literacy. Assess student current digital literacy level to tailor the ICT integration according to the skill and needs. And the readiness for change. Understand the willingness and readiness of both educator and student to embrace change brought about ICT integration. And we need to setting clear objective. The second step, setting clear objective. And defining educational goals for ICT integration. The first is digital literacy. We can now aim to enhance student digital literacy, preparing them for the technological domains of future. The second is collaborative learning. ICT to fostering collaborate learning experience, encourage teamwork and global connections. And critical thinking and problem solving. Using ICT to develop critical thinking and problem solving skills among the students. Aligning ICT with learning outcome. The subject-specific enhancement. Identify how ICT can specifically enhance learner outcomes in different subjects such as science, mathematics, and language learning. And the second is skill development. Focus on how ICT can aid in development of key skills like research, data analysis, and creative thinking. Assessing and feedback. Utilize ICT for innovative assessment method and instant feedback mechanism to support student learning. Long-term education objective. We have the long-term education objective like the sustainable ICT integration, plan for long-term incorporation, of ICT in the curriculum that can adapt to future technological advancements and preparing for digital future. Ensure that the curriculum prepares students not just for current technological landscape, but also equips them with adaptable skills for the future technologies. Whole school approach. For a whole school approach to ICT integration, where technology is embedded in all aspects of school life and learning. And the next step is curriculum development. The first is incorporating ICT into existing subjects. Enhancing traditional lesson. Integrate digital tool into traditional subjective to enhance understanding and engagement, like using interactive simulation in science class and cross-disciplinary projects. Encourage projects that combine multiple subjects using ICT, fostering a holistic learning approach. And designing new module focus on digital skill. Digital literacy course develop course specific aim at enhancing digital literacy, covering topics like internet research, digital communication, and online safety. And the technology drive subject. Introduce new subject that focus on engaging technologies like the coding, robots, digital arts. And we also need to align with educational standard. Like the curriculum standard, ensure that ICT integration align with the national or regional educational standard and curriculum framework. And we should preparing for assessment, incorporate ICT in a way what prepare students for standardized tests and assessment, which increasingly include digital components. And the teachers involved in curriculum design. The first is teacher input. Involve teacher in the curriculum development process to leverage their insight and ensure practical implementation. And the professional development. Provide continuous professional development opportunities to increase teacher with the necessary skill for ICT integration teaching. And the feedback and the continuous improvement. And the third is iterate process. View curriculum development as an iterate process. Incorporate feedback from teacher and student for ongoing improvement. And adaptability. Design the curriculum with flexibility to adapt to changing technology and educational needs. The criteria for selecting ICT tool. The first is element with learning objective. We should note choose tools that directly to support educational goals and learning outcome of the curriculum. And the user friendly, like select to the student and the teacher easy for both to use with institute interface and accessible features. And the cost effectiveness. Consider the cost of the tool, seeking a balance between the quality and affordability, and exploring free or open source options. The various tools for derived needs. The basic tool introduce essential software like words, props, and presentation software for foundational digital literacy, and interactive learning tools utilize interactive platform like education games, simulation game, and virtual reality to engage students. And collaboration platform implemented the tool that facilitates collaboration among students, such as cloud-based document share and communication platforms. The regular review and update of tools. The standing currents keep abreast of technological advancement and update the tools regular to ensure relevancy. And the feedback and evaluation. Collect feedback from educators and students on effectiveness of tools and make adjustments as needed. Training and support. The professional development, as I said, and the technological support. And for the ICT, I think we should use the student-central approach, engaging activities, problem-based learning, adapted technology, student choice and voice, global connective, and teamwork and communication, ethic use of technology, online safety and privacy. So, in conclusion, enhance education for digital world, emphasize how ICT integration is essential in modern education and preparing students for technologically advanced future and the long-term benefits. Like highlight the long-term benefit of ICT in education including improvement engagement, personalized learning, and development of critical thinking. And the future purpose, future prospect involving technology in education, like discuss the potential for continued evolution and innovation in use of ICT in education, adapting to future challenge, stress the importance of staying adaptable and responsive to future technological change and education needs. And call to action. Commitment to continuous improvement, encourage educator, administrator, and stakeholder to commit to ongoing improvement and adaptation in the ICT use. Collaborate if efforts. Remind the audience that the successful integration of ICT is education requires collaboration among all members of educational communities. So that's our group presentation. Thanks for watching.